Namaste. My name is Nick. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to get started laying down on the back, so go ahead and find your way down. Now, if Supta Baddha Konasana does not work for you with the soles of the feet together, you can extend your legs forward or bend your knees and place them on the floor. Settle in for a moment. Close your eyes. Start to sense the ground beneath your physical body. Feel a heaviness there for the next couple of minutes. So any momentum you've accumulated through the day can start to disperse. Notice your breath if you haven't already. Start to add a little bit of shape and sound to it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. And let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A couple more rounds like that. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. The last time, exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach the hands for the outsides of the knees. Use the hands to draw the legs in and towards your chest. Feel free to pause here for a moment. If any organic movement comes to you, you're welcome to take that. Let's transition into a simple spinal twist. Drop both of your legs over to the left. Reach your right hand over to the right. Now if you want to let the left hand assist the thighs a little bit further down, you can, but don't feel the need to do that. Feel the feeling of your body in this twist and take a few slow breaths. Make your way back up through center and take the knees over to the other side. Legs go to the right. Left arm reaches away from your midline. Again, the right hand can help assist the legs down into a deeper position if you like. Hang here and take a few easy breaths. Then draw the legs back up through center. Bring your knees forward so that they sit directly above your hips. Have your shins parallel to the floor. And then extend the hands up towards the sky so it feels like you're in tabletop but flipped up on your back. Press your back bottom ribs down into the floor and then reach your tailbone a bit forward and maintain those two actions as we add in a little bit of movement. Take a deep breath in here. Then exhale, reach just your right leg forward out in front of you. Come back through center, inhale. And then exhale, your left leg goes forward out in front of you. Come back through center, inhale. Now the arms, left arm reaches back as you exhale. Come up on the inhale. And right arm reaches back as you exhale. Maintain the lower back down. Inhale up through center. Now let's add right leg and left arm at the same time. Exhale. Back up through center, inhale. Left leg, right arm as you exhale. Try not to let the other two limbs move. Back through center, inhale. Right leg, left arm, exhale. Keep the lower back pressing down. Find center, inhale. Left leg, right arm, exhale. Back up, inhale. Right leg, left arm, exhale. Reach through your extended limbs. Back up, inhale. Left leg, right arm, again, reach through the extended limbs. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale, right leg and left arm. Back through center, inhale. Exhale, left leg and right arm. Then come back up through center as you inhale. Take a Kali Mudra with your hands and squeeze your legs together. Pick the head and shoulders up and twist your upper body to the right so your left forearm is reaching past the right thigh. And then take an inhale here. As you exhale, reach just your left leg forward. Come back up through center on the inhale. And then left leg goes forward as you exhale. Back through center, inhale. One more time, reach left leg forward as you exhale, and then hold here and do short little baby crunches for 3, 2, 1. Come back through center, change sides, arms over to the legs, to the left side. Take an inhale here. Exhale, your right leg reaches forward. Inhale, back through center, knees above the hips. Exhale, right leg reaches forward. Inhale, center, keep your lower back flush. Exhale, right leg forward, and then keep it there. Just 3 little crunches and release. Good. Set the feet down onto the floor. Take your hands out by your sides. Bridge pose, drive your heels down. Curl the tip of the tailbone forward and up to lift the hips. And spend a few breaths here. Breathing into the front of the body, opening there after just contracting. Find a strong pressure down through heels, big toe pads and pinky toe pads, so it feels like there is an evenness to the feet. And then to release, see if you can roll down your upper back first, then your middle back, lower back. Lastly, the tailbone touches down. When it does, draw your knees into your chest. Take a few rocks forwards and backwards to make your way up. And then let's meet in a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide, fingers pointing forward. Tuck your toes, lean forward, and then lean backwards. Do that a few times. Start to warm up the wrists, the hands, the forearms. And if you have the range of motion to do so, when you sit back towards your heels, you'll even get a little bit of stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Yeah, and pause when you're forward again. Turn your fingers away from one another. Lean from side to side a few times. And pause in the middle. Take your right fingers to point in the same direction as your left hand so that the right palm is face up. Straighter will be more intense. Bent will be less intense. Open and close a fist with your right hand a few times. Don't worry if you get all the way there or not. Just move in the direction that brings you sensation. And then release, switch sides, right fingers to the right, left fingers point the same direction, palm is up. Open and close the fist a handful of times. Again, release, point your left fingers to face forward, right fingers to face forward. Bear down into your hands, step the feet back, come to the top of a plank pose. Press the floor away so the center of your chest lifts up, but balance that out by reaching your collarbones slightly forward. Away from the collarbones forward, energize back through your heels. Press through your toes to engage your legs. Squeeze the glutes, hug the low belly in. And then most importantly, do all of that like it isn't a big deal. Take one more breath here. And then shift back into a downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back in space. You can start with a little bit of a bend into your knees here. Let's straighten just the left leg, bend the right knee. And then as you do this, turn your torso a little bit to the left. Switch sides, bend your left knee, straighten the right leg, and again, turn the torso a little bit to the right. Come back through center, bend and straighten without turning the torso, a little bit more dynamically now. And find the center of a down dog, lift the toes up, bend your knees, look forward, find your way to the front of the mats. We'll do a few sun salutations just to build a little bit more heat, half lift, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold forward. Rise up to stand with an inhale, press off your heels and reach. Exhale, thumbs to prayer at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge and fold forward over the legs. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale back into a plank pose, lower all the way down. You can stop halfway. Inhale, curve the spine, lift the chest up. Exhale, push the hips back, downward facing dog. And just be here for 3, 2, and 1. Lift the heels, bend the knees, come to the front of the mat, feet between the thumbs. Inhale, pick the chest up halfway. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, stand all the way up. Reach the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, close thumbs to heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or hop back, lower down. Use an inhale to pull the chest up. And an exhale to push the hips back, down dog. Again, just pause here for a very brief 3, 2, try to energize through all 4 limbs. And 1, lift the heels, bend the knees, come forward to the front of the mats. Half lift, inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, hinge and fold down. All the way up with an inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway, bottom ribs come forward. Exhale, bottom of a push-up, feel free to modify. Inhale, curve your spine, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now just 1 breath here in down dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale slowly. Shift forward, lower your knees down towards the floor. Come into a tabletop position. Then we're going to extend the left leg back and reach the right hand forward. Kind of like we did laying on the floor earlier, but now the relationship to gravity has changed. Reach your 2 bottom limbs down. Reach your 2 lifted limbs away from your center. And then see if you can hug the outside of your right hip just in a bit, so that it feels like it stacks above your right knee. 1 more breath here. Okay, then release your right hand down, tuck your right toes, lift up into a downward facing dog, and then we're going to go right hand's going to stay on the floor now. Left hand reaches for the outside of the right ankle, twisted down dog. Rather than collapsing into the right arm, try to press out of it. Feel both hips reach back. Feel the full circumference of your right palm heavy on the floor. Then release left hand down towards the floor, that right leg you were just holding on to. Let's pick it up for 3-legged dog. Shift forward into a 1-legged plank pose. Keep your hips up high. Bring the right knee up to the left elbow crease. And then back up on the inhale. Step the right foot forward to the front of the mat. Lower the left knee down. Sweep up into a little lunge. Stretch the arms. Take a few breaths here. Let's keep the back toes tucked. Press the toes down there. Shift your hips forward. Lift your ribs up and reach your fingertips back. And twist, right hand reaches towards the back of your mat, left hand reaches forward. Squeeze your inner legs together, roll the right ribs open, and then try to keep the right knee hugging in towards the midline. You feel that engage the right inner leg. We maintain the twist, but start to add a little bit of back bend to it. So right hand reaches towards the left heel, left arm reaches up and back. Right hand might be able to catch the left heel, but don't feel like it needs to. Focus more on the rotating and the lifting out of the pose. Lower your left hand down towards the floor. We'll come into a horizon lunge. Reach the right arm forward towards the front of the room. Lift the back knee up. And you can stay here, but if you can, let's roll onto the outside edges of the feet. Pull your right knee back. Lift the hips up. Stretch the right hand forward. Roll the chest open. Reach your thumb back. And breathe. Okay, now thread your right arm through the left arm and the right leg to walk through to a wide-legged forward fold, where you take the right hand down underneath your face, twist and reach the left arm up towards the sky. Reach your hips back, reach your chest forward, so it almost feels like there's a curve in the front of the spine, and then use that to turn the chest open. Now you'll keep the same exact leg position, thread the left arm through the right arm, reach for the outside edge of your right foot, and then with your right hand go behind your back. So we're still twisted in wide-legged forward fold, but now going a little bit more across the midline. Lean your chest away from the top of your right knee. Okay, and then release, hands down underneath your shoulders. Find a flat spine. Use that flat spine to rise up. Pivot your right toes to face forward. Bend your right knee. Warrior two. Open the arms up to a T. Adjust your stance if you need so you can sit down into the hips. Reach out through your fingertips. Then half bound side angle, left arm comes behind the back, right elbow lowers down towards the right thigh. Twist and reach your chest up. If you want to add in a full bound side angle, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm going to stay a little bit more upright and then drop my right ear to my right shoulder for a little bit of traction in the neck. Take one last breath here. And let's exit back out into a downward facing dog. Left hand comes to the floor. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Two hands on the mat. Then inhale, shift forward, find plank pose. And then lower all the way down to the floor. Lift up into a cobra pose. Upward facing dog's fine too. And then downward facing dog on the exhale. Press the hips back. Take a few breaths to steady yourself here. Especially your breathing. Slow, easy cadence in and out through your nose. And let's continue on. Find plank pose. Lower your knees down towards the floor. And then reach your right leg back behind you. Reach the left hand forward out in front of you for spinal balance. Again, whatever limbs are on the floor, press down. The lifted limbs reach out away from your center. And the feeling is like you're trying to hug the left hip in towards the middle of the mat. And you'll notice that that levels the right thigh off a touch. And release the left hand down. Find downward facing dog. And the right hand that was just on the floor is now going to twist for the outside of the left ankle, finding a revolved downward facing dog. Again, avoid collapsing into the left arm. Think of pushing the mat away. Extend through the shoulder. Feel the full palm flat on the floor. Now let go of the right hand. The left leg that you were just holding on to, lift it up for a three-legged dog. Shift forward into a plank pose. Keep the hips high and bring the left knee to the right upper arm. Go back into three-legged dog. And step the left foot forward to the front of the mat. Lower the right knee down. Keep the back toes tucked. Come up into a lunge. Press the right toes down. Contract your right glute muscles to bring the right hip forward. Lift the back bottom ribs up. Stretch the thumbs back. Steady gaze, steady breathing. Steady focus. Then twist, left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Feel the left shoulder blade squeezing back as the left leg hugs the midline. Now start to back bend the twist so the left hand reaches towards your right heel, but it doesn't have to touch. Right hand reaches up and out of the right hip. Lots of reach and extension through two arms. You're going to lower the right hand down towards the floor. Left hand reaches forward, lift the right knee up. Again, if you can, roll to the outside edges of your feet and pick the hips up for horizon lunge. And thread the left arm through the right arm. Pivot the toes around towards the long edge of the mat. Left hand's going to go directly underneath your face. Reach the hips back. Twist the right arm up. Instead of worrying about like a particular shape of having the arms stacked, which is a nice thing to aim for, look for the feeling of turning your chest away from the floor, and that'll get you in the direction you need to go. Then we still twist, but we take the right arm, reach for the outside edge of the left foot, and take the left hand behind the back, lean the chest away from the left knee and turn towards the sky or ceiling, depending on where you're practicing. Okay, and then release the hands down, find a flat back when you're symmetrical all there. Come on up. Pivot your left toes to face forward. Bend into the left knee, take a warrior two. Adjust the stance as you need. Find a steady, calibrated breath. Steady focus. Half bound side angle, right forearm comes behind the lower back. Left elbow finds its way to the top of the left thigh. Roll the chest open. And then if you want, you can go deeper into a full bind, or you can stay higher up like me, and let the head just dangle off the shoulders. Stay heavy in your left heel, broad across the chest. Okay, then let's meet back in down dog, hands to the floor, left foot steps back to meet your right. Pause there for a moment, otherwise join me, shift forward plank pose, lower down all the way or chaturanga, move through a back bend, and then press the hips back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, and a slow exhale. Now take your feet forward to about the middle of the mat, squat down into a more of like a tiptoe squat where the heels are raised up off of the floor. And then let's work arms on the insides of the legs, hands into prayer, squeeze the knees into the arms. Just find just a little bit of engagement through the inner thighs. And then keep that engagement, lower the hands down, stick the butt up, lean forward, lift the feet up off the floor, crow pose. Use the strength of the inner thighs to help keep the legs light. Good, and then release. Feet to the floor. Same stance, knees are a little bit apart this time, grab onto opposite wrists, or I'm just grabbing onto my right wrist. Push your knees into your arms to engage the outer hips. And then release. Seat to the floor. Take the feet wide. Knees are bent, a little windshield wiper from side to side. Now once you're in the middle, let's cross the left leg under, right leg over, Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you have difficulty sitting like this, feel free to straighten your left leg forward out in front of you like so. And this should help to keep the hips level. And a couple of options here. We're going to go for a left arm holding the right knee. Then left hand holds the right wrist. Lift the chest and turn. This is a nice place to stay if you want a more mild twist to linger in. If you want to go more intense, you could take the right hand behind the back, left arm into the leg and push. And there's all sorts of binds you can get into here from here too, whatever that means. Or we can work on side crow with eagle legs from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands off to the side of the mat, lift my butt up, and then if you need to, you can use your right elbow to kind of stab the right side of the body, creating a shelf for the torso. Lean out into the hands like we did in crow pose, and when you lean far enough forward, you'll feel that the feet get light enough to lift. But if you don't need the arm, you don't have to use it. So I'm just going to lean in, lift up, squeeze the legs, point them off to the side. Let's be here for 3, 2, and 1. Release. If you want a little counter stretch, go ahead and take it. And change sides. Same idea, left leg over the right leg straight if you want. Hold and turn. cross. Or we can set up for side crow once more. Another thing that I find for me is if I'm going into side crow, this entrance, I like this right foot really tucked in tight, and you could even lean onto it to give your hips a little bit of a boost. Really, the hips need to come higher up so that the weight of the torso can go forward. It's really all arm balance is about shifting weight. So giving the hips a little bit of a boost makes that shift easier. Take the hands down to the floor, knee higher than the elbow, lean and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take the feet forward. You can counter stretch first if you want. Fingertips point back behind you, feet flat on the floor. Drive the heels and hands down, lift the hips up. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can let your head go back. I prefer this pose in my chin tuck just because it doesn't feel as good in my neck. Okay, and then release, hips down. Same idea. Or we can bias that pose to get a little bit more stretch in the front of the hip. So I'm actually going to stagger my left leg a little bit closer. Take the hands behind me, lift the hips up, and then instead of going straight up, I'm going to go forward so that the left knee touches down towards the floor, and go back and make it a little bit more dynamic. You can kind of freestyle this, so either hold the middle position for a couple of breaths, or you can go in and out like I am. Sometimes a nice dynamic stretch. It's a good change of pace. And we'll change sides. Left foot forward, right foot comes in, lift, right knee forward and down, and back a few times. I think I did 4, so we'll do 4 here. Obviously, just whatever number you're working with, stick with that. Okay, and settle the hips down. Bring the soles of the feet together. And know that the stretch will change if your feet are closer to you versus further away. I'm going to go with close today. Feel free to take your feet further forward. Lift the torso up. Engage the outsides of your legs by pulling the knees down without your arms. And then you can stay right up here and breathe into whatever's happening down under, or take it forward. For me, there's not a lot of forward, so I prefer to just stay upright. Couple more moments. Let there be a very easy quality to your exhale, especially now as we start to wind down. Okay, release. Use the knees, hands to bring the knees together. Make your way a little bit forward from here. And then your choice, either shoulder stand or legs in the air. I'm going to just take my legs straight up towards the sky and use the hands to support the hips. If you want to stand on your shoulders, you're more than welcome to do so. All right, and if you're not familiar with shoulder stands, today's not the data, though I'm going to go over it. But if you are familiar and it's interesting to you, by all means take it. Otherwise, just settle in here. Well, it might look like I'm pretty mellow here. If you're not used to doing a pose like this, or if you have tight hamstrings, this might feel like steam is shooting out of your ears when you do this one. That's okay. It takes a little bit of time to open up there. And what you can do in the meantime is kind of tense your hands so that the hips are a little bit higher up, and even bend the knees like this. And if you have something nearby like a pillow, a bolster, something like that, you could throw that under your hips too. Even better, legs up the wall, but since we didn't start by a wall, it might be a little cumbersome to get there now. So another 15 seconds, shoulder stands. Feel free to take a plow pose. And then release. Fish if you're doing shoulder stand and plow. If not, you can just start to extend the legs out. Make any adjustments so that you're comfortable and steady. on Shavasana, or if you like, you can come up to a seat and do seated meditation instead. Close your eyes. Once again, notice where your body makes contact with the floor. Probably more parts are in contact now. And let the heaviness of your body help you dissolve any momentum you've built up. Take a deep breath in. An easy breath out. Another one. One more time, deep breath in. Hold the top this time. And then when you feel the first desire to exhale, go ahead and exhale. I'll leave you here to spend some time on your own in quiet that you've created through the movement of this practice. I appreciate you stopping in and spending some time with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, your night, and look forward to catching you again. Namaste.